third and fourth are taken from today's newspapers. We shall move on to our first topic.
So the first topic is IPCC 6th Assessment Report. It was in news because the IPCC Working Group 1 has recently released its 6th Assessment Report on climate change. As we know, the IPCC is currently in its 6th assessment cycle, wherein it would be releasing 8 reports, of which 3 are assessment reports, 3 are special reports, and 1 is a synthesis report based on the 3 assessment reports, and 1 is a methodological report. These 3 special reports have already been published by IPCC, and the recently released report is one among the 3 assessment reports. The Working Group 2 and Working Group 3 would release their reports later this year or by the beginning of next year. So in this aspect, we should know a few points about the IPCC from the British point of view. So it was formed in 1988 by WMO, World Meteorological Organization, and the United Nations Environment Program. So it is an intergovernmental organization consisting of members either of the UN or the WMO. The thing to be emphasized about IPCC is that it does not conduct its original or own research and is dependent upon already published reports and literature. So it basically reviews all these literatures and publishes its own reports for the governments to help in their policy formulations on climate change. Another fact about IPCC is the initiative it leads, that is the National Greenhouse Gas Inventory Program, which is coordinated along with OECD and the International Energy Agency. So in this program, assessment of the greenhouse gas emissions is done, that is the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that are released and the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that are removed by a country. Now let us move forward and look into the findings of the 6th assessment report. So it says that by 2030 there would be a 1.5 degree rise in temperatures. So this is far away from the goals that are conceived in the Paris Climate Agreement. It says that by the end of the century we should limit our temperature rise to 2 degrees Celsius, and we should endeavour to limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Further, it says that the Indian Ocean is warming faster than the others, so which means that extreme weather events like heat strokes, coastal erosion, intense rainfall would be observed in Southeast Asia. And finally, it recommends that countries should endeavour to net zero emissions by 2050. In this aspect, we should remember that India has not kept any deadline on reaching net zero emissions, while countries like the UK have net zero emission deadlines. Moving ahead, you should also know about the INDC targets of India. The INDC targets were conceived post the Paris Agreement. These are some of the INDC targets of India: to reduce emissions by 35% by 2030, to achieve 40% non-fossil based energy, and to create a carbon sink of 3 billion tons by 2030. So this topic can be asked from the mains perspective. So in GS1 it comes under geography, that is changes in critical geographical features, and in GS3 it comes under environment portion, that is environmental pollution. So you should know about India's renewable energy scenario, Indian initiatives on climate change, etc. So this is all about the first topic. Now we should move on to our second topic. The second topic is bond price and bond yield. So here we would look into the relationship between bond price and bond yield. In page 12 of today's Hindu, it says that the inflation in the economy currently has led to bond yield rise. So what is bond price and bond yield? Bonds are basically a financial instrument that acts as a contract between two parties who want to borrow, one who wants to borrow and another who wants to invest. So So a bond issuer is one who wants to borrow money, and a bond buyer is one who gives money or who lends money or who invests money. Investor. So how is the bond price and bond yield related? So bond price is the price at which the bond issuer issues the bond. The price at which the bond is sold to the buyer. And the bond yield is the return that the investor gets on buying the bond. Basically, it is an interest. So, how is the bond price and bond yield related? So, we will consider an example where the bond price is 100 rupees and the yield is, let us say the yield is 10%. So, the return on investment is 10 of 100, that is 10 rupees. Now, let us say that the interest rate in the economy has risen to 12%. So what happens now is that no one would be ready to hold this bond of 100 rupees at 10% rate, because the banks are issuing a higher rate of 12%. So now he has to get rid of this bond, but no one would be ready to buy this bond at 100 rupees at this stage, because he can invest this 100 rupees in banks and earn interest rate of 12%. So what happens is that the bond holder would reduce the price of this bond to 90 rupees and sell it. So the person who buys this bond now at 90 rupees would still be earning an interest value of rupees 10. In this case, the bond yield has risen because he is still earning 10 rupees for 90. This is approximately equal to 11%. So, bond, as we have seen that as the bond price has reduced, yield has gone up. So this is the relation that is shown here. When the bond price is reducing, the yield is going up. Bond price is reducing, yield is going up. So from the prelims point of view, you should know government securities. Government securities are also type of bond. And treasury bills, cash management bills will be known to you. And terms such as quantitative easing and open market operations as well. Then another important thing is the operation twist that was carried out by RBI to ease bond rates. So this is all from this portion. We will move on to the next topic. The third topic for today is the 127th Constitutional Amendment Bill, which has recently been cleared by the Lok Sabha. So, we shall look into the background of this issue. Earlier, for the 102 amendment, separate list for the OBCs could be created by both the states and the center. But post this amendment, Article 342A was inserted, which said that the President, in consultation with the Governor, should notify SCBCs or the OBCs. So this restricted the powers of the state in a way to list OBCs. So what does this 127th Constitutional Amendment Bill do? Is that it restores the power of the states to identify and list OBCs. If this received the assent of the President, then it would become the 105th Constitutional Amendment. So from the prelims point of view, we should know about the 102nd Constitutional Amendment, which inserted Article 338 and created the National Commission for Backward Class, and also the Article 342. Other prelims important portions are the National Commission for Backward Class, its composition, powers, appointment, term, etc. The constitutional amendments, how the constitutional amendments take place, its introduction in the House, the procedure for a constitutional amendment, the types of constitutional amendments, etc. From the mains portion, GS2, it comes under the topic amendments, functions and responsibilities of various constitutional bodies. This is all in this portion. We shall look into the next topic, that is criminalization of politics. So this is majorly a mains topic to be asked in GS2. This was in news because the governments are making use of section 321 of CRPC to relieve criminal cases pending against their MPs and MLAs. So this has not gone well with the Supreme Court, as the use of section 321 should be limited in larger public interest. So this topic is important from the mains perspective, and we shall look into it in detail. The Association of Democratic Reforms says that the parliamentarians having criminal background are increasing with each Lok Sabha. It is 49% in 2019. And also the chances of winning of a candidate with criminal background is higher than a candidate with a clean background. The reasons and the impact of criminalization of politics is analyzed here. The nexus between the politicians and criminals can be seen. Now, there have been measures taken under the Constitution as well as the Representation of People Act. The disqualifications are mentioned under Article 102 and 191 of the Constitution under several clauses. Also, under the RPA we have the Section 8 which bans convicted politicians, and the Section 123 deals with different types of crimes which can lead to conviction of politicians. Also, the RPA includes the electoral bonds, which aims to limit the electoral funding. The Supreme Court has also been proactive in its role in influencing elections. The Lily Thomas case is an example where the court said that the convicted MLAs should lose their seat immediately. And the recent SC directive, which makes it mandatory for the parties to publish all information on the criminal backgrounds of candidates in all medias, including social media and also the print media. The ECI has also played its role by increasing the system of flying squads, the sweep mechanism for information generation and awareness, and the C-Vigil app to report electoral offences. So still we find that the measures have not been enough. So we can include the following recommendations here. So the proposed amendments to RPA include the conviction under section 125A, that is false affidavit, should be disqualification, should be a ground for disqualification. And also we should include paid and fake news as an electoral offence. The National Commission to review the working of the Constitution said that special courts should be established to hasten the election petition rights. We can also grant additional and more powers to the Election Commission by giving them deregistration power of political parties and more truth in MCC, more record of conduct enforcement, etc. State poll funding is also another mechanism, and we can also include measures to increase internal party democracy by having a code of conduct for party workers and the right to recall. And there has been a recent law in Haryana which says that the parliamentarians, the legislative members can be recalled. So these are some of the suggestions given to reduce criminalization of politics. Politics. The fourth topic is Parliamentary Control over the Executive. So, this has been taken up as we have seen that a number of bills have been passed without committee scrutiny in this monsoon session of the Lok Sabha. So, as an introduction, we can see the different parliamentary control mechanisms or the legislative control mechanisms that are available to control the executive, which include need of majority support to pass a bill and also a constitutional amendment, the question hour and the 0 hour mechanisms, the different motions that are available, non-confidence, the calling attention motion, censure motion, etc. The committees, and also the financial control is allowed to vote on grants, the CAG cut motions on budget, etc. So there has been a prelims question related to this topic in 2017. Now, as we move on, we find that the parliamentary scrutiny of the executive has not been enough, because there have been several cases where the executive is able to bypass the legislative control. So, from the executive side, we can see that the speaker, being partisan, begins to side with the ruling party. Then, being majority party rule, non-confidence motion is just an eyewash. Also, the number of disruptions in parliament, so it waits a number of question hours. According to the stats, 66% of the question hours are wasted. And use of whips, which is reducing the role of individual parliamentarians. In the financial side, the technical nature of the demand for grants makes it difficult for the layman parliamentarians to understand the nature of it. And the committees like the Public Accounts Committee only does the post-mortem work, so this just goes in vain. And the increased use of bulletin mechanisms in budget passing and bypassing the Rajya Sabha by designating the bill as an annual. So, in the legislative aspect, in the 16th Lok Sabha, it has been seen that 74% of the bill have been passed without parliamentary committee scrutiny, and the increased use of delegated legislations, the absence of strong opposition, etc. are reasons for inefficiency of parliamentary control. So the suggestions given to increase the effectiveness are as follows. So we can make parliamentary committee scrutiny compulsory. We can bring external expertise in committees, and can fix minimum sitting days and attendance for MPs. Right to recall is another effective method. Also, the shadow cabinet mechanism, as in UK, can strengthen the role of the opposition. So, this is all about parliamentary control over the executive. So, over and above the 5 topics that we have discussed today, both the Hindu and the Indian Express mentioned about the reforms that are likely to take place in the telecom sector due to its unviability. So the reforms are listed into the floor prices or the minimum prices to be ensured to service providers, moratorium on the debt that are pending to the government, and converting debt to equity. So more on the telecom sector and the tax reforms are already dealt in the ENbreeEN initiative earlier. So the link will be provided below. This is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this session.